is a winter weather alert. You are watching 13 on your side.
And we begin this afternoon with the weather and the next round of snow headed our way that will be falling at this time tomorrow.
Some areas could see as much as 9 inches of snow. Other areas only a couple of inches. 13 on your side, Chief Meteorologist George Lessons joining us now from the Weather Center to break it all down for us. Hey, George.
The timeline is it will move in during the late morning through late evening here tomorrow. Winter storm watch is issued earlier today for areas to the south. That starts at noon tomorrow for Allegan and Berry counties southward. So nothing here tonight or during the morning tomorrow. Kent, Ottawa, and Ionia counties northward, with the exception of Oceana County. You'll see your watch go into effect at 3 p.m. That will last till 2 a.m. Here are the impacts. The highest impacts will be from Grand Rapids to the south and east. Northwest counties may not have any impacts at all, but in those areas south and east, it'll be very high for limited visibility and travel, medium for power outages. Those will be over toward Ionia and Lansing. Really no ice buildup is expected. The snow is just going to break out here in northern Illinois, Indiana, and lower Michigan. Really nothing going on until that storm system comes up from the south. There's a lot of severe weather across North Texas, a lot of punch with this system. It is going to be moving up over Lake Erie here by this time tomorrow night, so we'll be in the cold and snowy portion, but there will be a very sharp back edge to that snow. Right now, it's in the mid-30s north, around 40 south, about where we thought it would be today. Tomorrow, when the snow begins, it may initially melt because temperatures are going to be almost as warm as this, but as the snow falls, it will start to accumulate. Tomorrow evening's commute will be pretty tough. We'll have a closer look at all those details and timeline in just a few minutes. Well, it certainly has been we've been watching that storm very closely coming out of the southwestern U.S., still narrowing down where the axis of heaviest snow will fall. Pretty confident the heaviest will be to the south and east of Grand Rapids. Northwest counties may not see any snow at all. Let's wrap it all up with a 13 weather ball look at your Friday. It's green, no change to the 30s foreseen. Blinking bright, we have some wind and heavy snow in sight in some areas. And this view is sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. Follow the temperatures. They'll drop down to right around 32 here tonight, and then only in the mid-30s tomorrow. And notice at the top when the snow begins, right around 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Very heavy as you head into the evening hours, and then winds are going to pick up out of the northeast around 20 miles per hour. Right now, very little going on here in the Great Lakes region. We will stay quiet overnight tonight. Just a few clouds after a little bit of clearing. Look at this massive storm coming up into southeast Missouri. Rain all through here. That's why you don't see any watches or warnings down to the south of us, because this is going to run into the cold air as it arrives into Illinois, northern Indiana, southern lower Michigan. It will start to snow in the early afternoon and come down real heavy late afternoon and evening. The storm track, all important, anywhere between about Toledo and Cleveland. Any variation one way or the other will mean no snow or a lot of snow. The very heavy snow line is going to be right over Kent County, and then that will quickly pull away after midnight tomorrow night. But tomorrow evening is going to be pretty tough if you're traveling over toward Lansing, down toward Ann Arbor, and then skies are going to clear. Now Saturday, we'll start with some sun, some clouds in the afternoon for recovery day for those that need it, and then lots of sunshine expected here on Sunday. The track of the storm, you notice there's no snow until you get into northern Illinois and Indiana. 11 inches by one of our models over in Detroit, 2.5 here in Grand Rapids. That's out at the airport. Caledonia may end up with 6 inches of snow. Casnovia may end up with maybe a half an inch of snow. So the northwest county is probably going to miss out on that. That's why Oceana County, you're not in the winter storm watch. The higher amounts and the more impacts will be from Grand Rapids off to the south and east. Now here in GR, that might be just an ordinary snow for us, but there's going to be wind with that, and a little bit of that snow will be melting at the beginning of that. Winds are going to be gusting to about 25 miles per hour here in the afternoon tomorrow. As that snow begins, they'll taper off a little bit, but the further south and east you are, the higher the wind gusts, they could be 35 plus miles per hour. After the weekend with recovery, long range outlook from the 8th through the 12th. Colder than average temperatures are moving into West Michigan. We'll have an equal chance for more or less precipitation. Most of that will be off to our south and west. So tonight, quiet night, just mostly cloudy skies, mid and upper 20s to around 30, Holland and South Haven. Northern part of our viewing area, mid and upper 20s, no precipitation under mostly cloudy skies. Grand Rapids southward, dry night, upper 20s to near 30 degrees. 13 on your side forecast. We've upgraded that high impact day, especially for areas south and east of Grand Rapids. Very windy. Just about everyone will see at least some snow. The heaviest again south and east of Grand Rapids. 41 on Saturday now, 45 Sunday. A little bit of wintry mix, changing to rain on Monday as temperatures rise. Dry Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're trending with some colder weather and breezier weather as we head into next weekend. We'll see some snow and a little bit of lake effect snow. Apparently March doesn't mean winter's over.
That's for sure. Thank you, George.
Well, winter storm watch was issued earlier for most of our viewing area. Those will be upgraded to a higher version of an alert, and some areas may be left out of those advisories and alerts, just depending on where the storm ends up going. 13 weather ball is blinking bright. We definitely have snow arriving tomorrow, and it's also green. No change foreseen into the 30s. And this view sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. It was a quiet day today. Jetson, you should enjoy a quiet evening as the kids take you out for a walk in the evening. We're going to give you a green paw. Upper 30s dropping into the mid 30s, and then even in the morning it should be okay before the kids head to school. Yeah, still think you'll have school here tomorrow. Solar energy report, about the same as today, 4.1 out of a 10-point scale. And generating green energy from the wind will be better tomorrow as the winds pick up, especially the afternoon and early evening. 5 out of a 10-point scale. Right now, just cloudy skies across the area. It'll remain that way. For the most part, might see a break or two. The real active weather is not going to be arriving until after sunrise tomorrow. So your morning commute, maybe even your lunchtime commute will be fine, but this is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Not reaching the northern counties yet. It's getting up into the Grand Rapids area, and then areas off to the north and west will see some snow develop. You notice Oceana County, you're not in that watch at present, but there'll be a lot of heavy snow. We're still tracking the heaviest snow from Grand Rapids off to the south and east. This is overnight Friday night. It quickly exits. We'll wake up to bright sunshine on Saturday and a fresh layer of snow. A couple of clouds, maybe a sprinkle Saturday, nothing to worry about, and more sunshine on Sunday. So again, Saturday and Sunday seeing some good recovery days. Now the heaviest snow is not breaking out until it gets to Indiana and Illinois. So that's why there's no watches to our south and west. This is at 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. The snow is going to fall, but it likely will melt because temperatures will be above freezing. But then, wow, is it really going to fall very, very quickly? Grand Rapids Airport, 2.5 inches, maybe as much as 5 out in Caledonia. And northwest counties, you may not see much snow, if any at all. Heaviest band still from South Bend to Detroit up to Port Huron, perhaps up to 10 inches or more. And that will continue on up into Toronto and New York State. After that, quiet weather, but it gets cold. Much of the country going to see colder than average readings from March 10th through the 15th or 16th. So again, very cold temperatures. And as far as precipitation, the storm track is going to be in through here. So we have a higher chance of less precipitation during that 7-day period. Forecast for tonight, just mostly cloudy skies, dropping into the mid and upper 20s north. 31 around Holland and South Haven. Northern part of our viewing area, mid-20s here, upper 20s toward Greenville. Dry night here in the greater Grand Rapids area southward, upper 20s to around 30 with a light east wind picking up later on. 13 on your side forecast. Upgraded that high impact day, especially for areas south and east of Grand Rapids, as we now hit 38, and then the snow will begin and the temperatures will drop into the low and mid 30s tomorrow evening. 41 Saturday as we see some sunshine early on. Sunshine on Sunday before a little wintry mix changes to rain on Monday morning as we hit the mid 40s. Next week will be colder. You saw that in that 10-day forecast, or the 10-day outlook, and maybe occasional light snow, nothing heavy. Will stay though in the upper 30s. So it's supposedly March, but winter is still sticking around. Winter storm on the way to West Michigan, arriving here during the afternoon on your Friday. It'll get tough for your evening commute, especially to the south and east of Grand Rapids. Northwest, you may just have an ordinary day. 13 weather ball is blinking bright. We have snow in sight and some wind as well. It's also green, no change to the 30s foreseen, at least early in the day. And this view sponsored by Countryside Greenhouse of Allendale. We forecast 40 here in Grand Rapids. Actually forecast 39 here in Grand Rapids. It made 40. 39 is our average high for this time of year. It was upper 30s north and mid 40s to the south. As I mentioned, we were off by 1 degree. We revised our total because we counted February 29th, 30th, and 31st in our forecast earlier. 3 days in a row with our forecast to track. The storm track coming out of Texas right now, still on track to head up into northern Ohio here during the night tomorrow night. We're going to be on the cold and wet and windy and snowy side of this system. Tonight, nothing going on. It will be a quiet night, and it will be a quiet start to your day tomorrow. I think everyone will be going to school here tomorrow, but by noon, this is where the leading edge of the wintry mix will start because temperatures will be well up into the 30s. It will not accumulate at the beginning, but it will certainly accumulate by the time we get into the late afternoon and evening hours. Oceana County, you might not see any snow at all. This quickly pulls away overnight Friday night. This is 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when the watch expires. We ended up with some sunshine to start our day on Saturday and then more sunshine on Sunday. We're going to zoom right into most of West Michigan. Ottawa, Kent, Ionia counties down to the south. Now this is overnight tonight. No snow at 7 o'clock in the morning. Watch the clock above my head. This is around 1 o'clock. Because the snow is falling, it's not accumulating quite yet. But once it gets into the greater Grand Rapids area, this is between 1 and 7 o'clock. Almost 3 inches in the southeastern part of the state, just enough to cover the ground up in Casnovia. By the time it's all done, the heavier snow will be south and east of Grand Rapids, 6+ inches here, maybe approaching a foot over toward the Lansing areas. And one of our other models is agreeing fairly much the same. This is a little bit higher resolution model, to about 1 inch up here in Casnovia to much as 6 inches down here in southeastern Kent County, and up to 13 inches once you get over toward the Howell and Lansing areas. So again, very sharp back edge to that. Notice portions of Muskegon, Newaygo, and Oceana counties. Probably not going to see much at all. Winter storm watches going into effect here tomorrow at noon or 3 p.m. till 2 a.m. on Saturday. It will become windy. Temperatures will initially get into the upper 30s and low 40s before the snow arrives, and then it will quickly drop into the low and mid 30s. Similar up north, early afternoon highs will be in the mid and upper 30s, and the snow begins. Heaviest will be from Greenville off to the south and east. And here in the greater Grand Rapids area, further south and east you travel here tomorrow night, the more snow will occur, especially Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, on over toward Ionia. 13 on your side forecast. Dry Saturday and Sunday recovery days as we hit the mid 40s. Little wintry mix as temperatures fall into the upper 20s Sunday night and then rise to 46 with rain on Monday. Dry Tuesday and Wednesday, and then we're getting into a cold spell through the middle of this month. Highs will only be in the 30s, and there's a good chance we could see some light snow from time to time later on next week. So still a lot of winter weather.